You Got It Crazy podcast. All right, so I was having a biblical discussion with one of my friends, and we was talking about Paul, because he was saying Paul went out and he preached to the Gentiles and all of that stuff. And I'm like, I don't think you quite understand what that means. So I'm gonna show you guys how I broke it down to him. All right, so when Paul got brought back into himself, when he started to come back to who he really was, Paul had he had like a yearning to go out and help other people who don't know who they were, or who don't know who they are, who had started following like a very, very false doctrine. Sort of like today, when we said like when Paul went to the Grecians and when Paul went to Rome and was talking to the Romans or the Corinthians, and what y'all don't understand is this, right? Paul was black. He was a dark colored person. So he couldn't just go to Rome and go into like whatever cathedral they would have and start preaching about some Christ. They would have killed him. That was punishable by death. That wasn't something you played with. You understand? So when he was meeting with people, it was in secrecy. When he was going like to Rome, he was going to Rome and talking to his kind of people that were dark like him, people that were from the tribe of Judah, people of Israel. He was going to those places and finding those people and bringing them back and telling them, you are not a Roman. Those people went over to them countries and they started worshiping them gods. They took on the identity of those other people and lost their own. So he was going there to explain to them, this is not who you are. Yeah, I know your parents did this, your father's father did that, but he was wrong. Went along, he did what he had to do to get along in that land, but he started taking on their ways, and that was one of the things that God told us, no, we don't do that. All right, so I had to tell him, I said, look at us here in America, right? We call ourselves American. We call ourselves African American. And a Chinese man come over here, he'll call himself a Chinese American. But when you look at him, you know, when you used to be like, yo, what are you? You know what you're asking him. You're not asking him if he's American. You're not asking him if he was born in America. If he was born in America, you're asking him, by the look of you, you look like you come from out there over in the East, somewhere in Asia, right? So that's what happened. Same thing that happened with us here. We're running around calling ourselves American. We're not American, we're African. Just figured I'd share that with y'all. We Got a Crazy podcast.